Hey guys, so today I'm going to tell you about another OBE. This one occurred maybe 3 nights ago, and I'm already laughing because it, thinking back on it is pretty damn funny. So I know we've been talking about how to escape the Matrix and not have to be reincarnated. And we'll get back to it, but this one is an OBE. So first off, I guess I'll start at the beginning. Um, so I'm listening to the Gateway, Wave 7, and this is the one where I believe it was the sixth or seventh recording, the one where it allows you to, well, it I guess it directs you to go to focus 27. So this is supposed to be another rest area where you'll find possibly family members, maybe even members of your own soul cluster, who knows. But okay, and then basically, but they are getting prepared to come right back and be reincarnated. They may not realize it, but that's what it is. So, anyways, I figured I would just go there just to see if I might be able to see a family member or two. So I listen to the beats, and sure enough, I come out of the body, and then I notice I'm in a it. The room is looks really sleek, really nice. The carpet was gray, the walls were white, and it was pretty. It was just a clean room, like nothing else was in there, but I could tell it was nice. It was relatively modern. I see a mirror, so naturally, I'm going through the mirror. So I went through the mirror, and then I come out of the mirror, kind of like I guess it was more like in a hallway. So I walk towards the room. The room had a bed. The bed, I can't remember the color of the bedding, but I do remember that the carpet itself was orange. And then there was a TV, almost like a floor model type television that was just on. And I didn't pay much attention to what was on the television. And I was just trying to get up out of there, just, to explore a bit more. So in the room, there was another mirror. So I looked in the mirror, right? I saw myself at first, and then it looked like I looked like somebody else. So I looked up what that meant. And a lot of times, what will happen is if you look in a mirror, if you don't see yourself, sometimes it'll cause the soul to think, or rather code the soul into thinking that it is someone else. So in this case, it was trying, I guess, get me to agree, I guess, to that particular look, or and hence someone else. But I knew that it was. I just didn't really pay much attention to it, and I decided, okay, well, I'm just gonna go through this other mirror. I went through that mirror, and I saw these cobwebs. And I'm like, okay, so the moment I see cobwebs, I'm like, okay, surveillance. And it was old, it was dark, it was just like, I mean, like unused. I'm not gonna worry about that area. So I turned right back around, and then I went back and I saw another mirror within the same place. So there were three different mirrors, probably more than that, but I went through another mirror. So this is where I end up in this room. Looked like something like a basement, but there were three other souls there. There were two females, one male. They were all black. And then when they saw me, they were like talking to me as if they knew me, like, oh my God, it's been so long since I saw you. What's going on? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know, y'all, but I just played along with it, right? So I was like, oh yeah, it's been a while. I've just been going through so many things. I've been gone so long. And I wanted to tell them that because what I was thinking in my mind was, I was going through so many things that I wanted to come out of my body, and that's exactly what I did. That's where I am right now. But no, I I didn't tell them yeah they were dead or anything like that. But all of a sudden, I was looking at one of the black girls, the females. I was because I was talking to her, but whenever I look at a certain soul, if it's not a real soul, it's gonna probably be something like a bot or a thought form or something like that, and then they will disappear. So I looked at the girl, the light started flickering, and I'm thinking to myself, okay. And then all of a sudden, so I'm looking at the soul, and she disappears. So I'm thinking, okay, up. I see what's going on. They were essentially wasting my time. I kind of knew that already, but I was just playing along with it. And so finally, I'm like, okay, when the lights start flickering, I'm like, okay, they pinged my location. They, meaning the bureaucracy, you feel me, the archons, whatever. So they were going to send some bot or something my way. Lately, they've been sending security bots that show up to try to get me out of there, just in general. And the reason is because, well, I can do some damage in those areas even without trying, and I did not. It just is what it is. As a source seed, and I know I got a bunch of source seeds out there that watches my channel. Y'all, when you come out of the body, you you're damn powerful people. So it don't take much to disrupt the area. But the light started flickering. So again, I went through. They had a mirror there too, but the way that the mirror looked, it was more like a picture, but the mirror surface was on the outer edges. It was like a thin strip. And I didn't waste any time. I was just like, whatever. They ain't gonna catch me. So so I went through the little strip and I made it through. So y'all, you can go through any shiny surface. Okay. So, anyways, I wound up outside. It looked at what looked like a strip mall, right? And it looked like, I don't know, maybe they had like a Barnes and Nobles or some shit. It had a lot of stuff there, y'all. It had some pretty interesting little stores that looked, you know, decent. Not oh my god, but it was a strip mall. They had other souls around, and I'm just like, just taking in the sights. And so I see this other soul. She was looked like she was trying to pick something up from the ground, but it was a bunch of leaves that kind of swirled around, like when she was trying to pick it up, and she couldn't quite get it. And so I don't know why it made me think of tornadoes, but it did the twirling of the leaves. I was like, wonder if I could create a tornado here. So I did like this ever so slightly with my finger, and it literally a tornado started to form, and all of the leaves in that area started to swirl in almost a very symmetrical circle. I was like, oh, let me stop, because I did not want to screw up the area or damage anything. I noticed that when I have lucid dreams and I do spin up tornadoes, it's like four or five of them and they're huge, and they just, I mean, it decimates the place. And I didn't really want to do that because I'm out of the body. I'm not in a lucid dream, right? I'm in the consensus area, which is where a lot of other souls are there. They're doing their thing, but it's something else occurred right after that led me to believe my little tornado thing wasn't quite through. I walked right after I did the twirl with my finger, and I stopped. I walked by this store, and once I walked by the store, all of the souls, it had to have been like 20, 25 of them, just it was like they were sucked into a uh vortices. How do you put, I can't even say the name, a vortex, but it was I was the vortex. Like they came towards me, And I was like, I am so sorry. I mean, I didn't realize just walking by the store, they all just came out. And, of course, you can hear people, they were, oh, oh, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking, oh, Lord, I hope that wasn't me. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, so I'm walking, I flew on top of another building just to kind of get away from the area. But that didn't work. I was eventually pinged. The bureaucracy saw me. They caught wind of that. Apparently, just I was loud. So, and how did they show up? Security bots. So the security bots, they showed up as two black males wearing all black. I ain't gonna lie, to the outfits were nice, but there were two black males, and they had on some black leather outfits or something like that. And they were standing like one on either side of me, but they were behind me. So I turned around to look to see, you know, if anyone was following me, and that's who it was. Now, mind you, we're on top of a building, right? And so I think to myself, wait a minute, okay, the edge of the building is just a few steps away. So all I need to do is just run off, jump off the side of the building, and then I can wiggle my toe or wiggle a finger or something, and I can go right back to my body because I was like, I ain't want to get caught. so, so I run all the way towards the edge of the building. I jump off, I wiggle my toe, and I even close my eyes like I just knew I was gonna land right in my in my body, and I'm like this. And I open my eyes and I'm still there. And both of those two bots, the security bots, they grabbed my arms and I was like, what what did I do? And I just, it's exactly, I said it exactly like that. Well, what did I do? Like I didn't do anything. And then I said, so what came to my mind was I'm gonna try my I am statements, because in the past I've been able to say I am this or I am that. The last couple of times I was able to say I am invisible, and I became invisible. They couldn't see me at all, right? So, and again, I was in Focus 27 when that happened, and then I believe Focus 25 when I did it another time. But anyways, whenever I say I am invisible, I'm able to. They can't see me. So I was thinking maybe I could do I am a star, and I would just burst into flames and just incinerate them or something like that. So, but of course, I'm still like, y'all don't laugh at me, please. I said, what did I do? I'm a star. And and I'm like, I didn't burst into flames. I was just like just there. They still have my arm and they look at each other like, what? You have a store. They said you have a store. And I'm looking like, yeah, I have a store. Oh my God. Oh, hold up. Okay. A store. I say, yeah, I have a store. And then that gave me just enough time to I finally my my toe triggered and I was able to go back to my body. But y'all, oh my God. So I don't know. That was something else. And the bots, I looked into their eyes, well, the eyes of one of them, but they both had their eyes. They looked like black paint, that was dripping, like paint droplets. That it was creepy looking. And when you look in their eyes, it was just kind of like, you know what I mean? Of their pupils look like that. It was just like, bruh, they ain't really have much of an iris. It's all black, and it was just, like that. But I mean, whatever. I put on the active. I guess I put on the active my life because it's sure is a hell. It tricked them. They didn't even realize. But I was, to be honest, I was like, damn it, my I am statement didn't work. I was just kind of like, well, what the hell I'm gonna do now? Well, I just play along with it. I am a star. They thought I was a crazy. They thought I was a crazy soul that was just losing it on the other side, and it they literally dropped their guard as a result because they were expecting this all powerful being, and they were gonna have to use some sort of a resonance force or resonance energetic field in order to entrain me and literally stop me from being able to even come back to my body, at least until they were, I guess, through with talking to me or something. Usually, because they don't get you with the fear and all of that, like not at that point, at least from what I understand now, what I've been reading. But if a security bot catches you, usually they may very well try to wipe your memory or something like that. That don't work with me. They've tried that before. But they would have tried to get me to talk to somebody like, you need to calm down. You need to, you can't do this and that kind of stuff. But or they may get you with any other type of hook. So another out of body experience I had was I met some security bots, same area, Focus 27. Um, and they weren't black males. They didn't look human. Well, she did, but she turned into this like phantom looking chick. I literally I phased into that area, but I was between these tables and chairs. It looked like a ballroom, really nice ballroom, but it was like they were finished with the ball for the day, and they're all in the middle of the ballroom, and I was right in the middle of that, and I was looking around. There was like two people in the room. I didn't know whether they were souls or what. I thought they were just off to the side talking. I thought, and so I was thinking, damn it, I don't see any mirrors. I don't see anything that I can just go through. I was just there. So I guess it was meant for me to see them. So I ended up thinking like, well, maybe I'm just gonna burst out and whatever. I'm about that life. So that's what I did. I burst out from the middle of them tables. I went poof, and the way I was so damn dramatic. Boy, I'm too damn dramatic in the astral plane. I burst out and I turned. It was like, and I flew up like whoosh, turned like that, and I was like, and then the moment I did that, why the hell did I do that? Because those bots, they literally turned into phantom like it was if she was an old lady that was glowing yellowish greenish slightly highlight colored, looked like mucus, but it was phantom, and she looked, eyes were white, like, and she flew towards me, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, so I said, the thing that I was thinking was, okay, if I tell her to get out of my field, she's got to listen. So I say, get out of my field, and my voice came out like a thunderous, loud voice, very, very loud, very thunderous. Get out of my field. That's what I said. Now, all she was able to do was she pushed me back, but she kept trying to push me, and I'm like, is that all you gonna do? Y'all, that I can't lie, was I did. I went back to my body after that point, but it was like, that's it. Like, so, anyways, but that probably would have scared somebody to literal death. That, because that was the first time I had encountered something that looked like that, like zombie, phantomish, scary ghost. I'd never experienced anything like that until that time. Now I was huge in the moment, but she was huge too, and it was two of them. They both looked monster like. I can't even remember what the other one looked like because I was really focused on that one that grabbed. She grabbed my arm and pushed it off to the side like she was pushing me back, and then I went back to my body at that point. I was no worse for wear, but security bots. So if you're too loud, if you're too energetic, and you can mess up the mainframe or something to that effect, you will get the security bots. They will try and get you. Most of you probably won't even encounter those. But if you are a source seed, and again, I know I got some source seeds out there that's looking, just be aware that there are security bots. Um, they are that it seems as if they are running out of things to try to, I guess, not take me down. I wouldn't say that, but to try to get me. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't scared. I don't know. I wasn't scared. But it was a little bit like, damn, like, like what the hell? You feel me? But yeah, those were just a couple of OBEs where I saw security bots, and they can show up as any entity, you know. Um, so with that being said, y'all, there's definitely more to come, but I figured I would just give you guys a little bit of a couple of my OPEs that I've had as of late, because I hadn't talked about my out of body experiences. I tried to have out of body experiences at least twice a week, if not twice, once a week, if I can. And because I, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. As a matter of fact, there's a message that I'm gonna need to give out very soon, and it is coming. So stay tuned. I love you all. There is more to come.